guys, it's your favorite trio back here. Let's all pad up together. On first slip, we've got Chai. Second slip, the best catch dropper ever, Raj. And on the third slip, let's push him to gully if he drops any catches today. We've got some exciting fixture chat for you in store. And the schedule's looking pretty jam-packed for India, boys. Go on. Yeah.
They're pretty full on. They've got hold on. I had it and I lost it. So the first thing they've got is Sri Lanka.
This guy.
Had it.
Yeah.
So first is Sri Lanka. India's to Sri Lanka for T20s and ODIs.
And ODIs. 3 T20s, 3 ODIs.
And ODIs.
And
Yeah.
not a lot of time left for the Champions Trophy. So, in my opinion, got to play the full team. Full team, every single person.
Well, they aren't playing full team. Rohit, Kohli, and Bumrah are rested. The
whole series?
Yeah. Hardik wanted rest.
From ODIs?
Yeah, from the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So speculations that Mr. Sky is going to lead the team.
Oh, that's for T20s, right?
Yeah, and then one days as well, hopefully.
Oh, see, Rohit's not going to be there either?
That's what
about Gill?
Wow.
Interesting to see, but only time is going to say whether Gill is going to get the favorites.
Shaking things up. Wait, what about, you reckon KLrahul will come back at least? Come on. That man can't ask for rest.
He's got to.
He has to. He's been rested enough.
Like his T20 days are over also, by the looks of it.
I would say so. I think if you go with GG's philosophy of 3 separate squads and asking Pant to focus on red ball cricket, a likely candidate to keep wickets because he's done that in the Cricket World Cup last year as well. So good chances for KL to come back. Shami maybe making a comeback as well.
Oh yeah,
after a long injury.
Yeah. Cool.
Very long. What's it been?
After
what, 6-8 months for Shami?
Longer.
Yeah. Straight after the World Cup is where he was injured, right? So nearly about November. I think is it? I don't want
to everything.
I don't want to recollect the date of the finals, but straight after that. So
okay.
And we've got Bangladesh after Sri Lanka.
Hey, Bangla boys.
And they're coming to India this time. It'll be fun times again for us. Get the snake out. Yes.
So it's a combination of test and T20s.
Yeah, and I actually can't believe no ODIs. Like, why not play ODIs and maybe take a couple of T20s away? I get that they're quick, but we need more practice, right?
The next chance for Indian team to practice ODIs is about 2 weeks before Champions Trophy.
Oh, who's that against?
England.
That's an odd schedule.
Yeah,
that's an odd schedule. Just 2 weeks before either they don't want to get ahead, but that would have been good practice.
That's it. Money talks.
Yeah,
it's all about the money. Rafa says T20s where it's at, so got to play T20s.
Yeah.
But lots of tests happening too, right? Because they've got a couple of tests of Bangladesh, and then New Zealand goes to India, and they only go there for tests. 3 tests at a time, not 2.
Not 2, 3. They need a decision.
Yeah.
And really do you know the story around the number of tests that they play as well, right?
Yeah.
The lesser the test, the more are your World Cup, championship points. So they play more tests against nations where they feel they could lose. So that way they're giving away less points.
Yeah. So New Zealand, I think lucked out when they made it to the finals because they only played 2 or 3 tests, and each series is worth 60 points. So they played 2 tests. But the thing is, it's gamble, right? Because if you lose a lot of points.
Correct.
And if you win a lot of points.
Yeah. So in Indian schedule, you see Bangladesh are playing 2 tests because we know. Sri Lanka, who was it? New Zealand, we're playing
Zealand.
3.
New Zealand.
South Africa, 3. India's coming to Australia and playing 5 tests.
Plus, it's not even a gamble, right? I think it's also around watchability. Like, I think more people are going to watch Australia, New Zealand kind of teams than, like playing against Afghanistan, Bangladesh. So I think giving them a couple games, I guess less competitive, but at least we'll have some eyeballs in the series. And they get to earn some points if they win.
And all the tours are partial tours, right? There's no all 3 format tours. There's India's coming to Australia just to play 5 tests, right? Just 5 tests, and then they're off. It'll be we're going to Sri Lanka to play white ball cricket only. Yeah,
but five tests is a lot of tests. Like, it's a lot of time in a country. Like, they'll literally be here for like 2 months to play that test. They come here in November and they leave in Jan.
We've done more than that, right?
That's what I'm saying. We've done more of it.
You do a 5 test followed by a tri-series.
ODI.
That'd be so good.
ODI tri-series, yeah.
Do you know what juicy thing is? So I don't know if you've checked out Australian schedule, but just before the India series, do you know who's coming?
Pakistan, right?
Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So imagine if they just did a triangular series in between, just for ODIs. I reckon the Australian board would have pitched that to BCCI, and they'd be like,
"Not happening."
Not happening. Boy, I reckon most watch series if that happened.
Yeah. Stadiums would be sold out in minutes had that happened.
They're literally here in October, and India comes in November. Come in a couple of weeks early. Jam out three ODI series with each teams. Well, be a good watch too.
The whole BCCI versus ICC is full on at this moment. Now that
I don't think it's BCCI, right? It'll be the government that dictates it, and that's probably why ICC has to follow if they follow.
Now that T20 World Cup is done, everyone is just focused on Champions Trophy, and the only talking point is, will India tour Pakistan? Now this is a big financial hit on Pakistan as well, because highly likely India is going to make at least till the semis, which means 3 league stage games and 1 semis, right? If India plays, it's a sold out. All 4 games have to be moved out. Now, any nation that hosts it would need a cut from the tournament organizers altogether, not just the match, but also a share in the overall revenue as well.
Yeah, of course.
Big money.
But I mean, again, that's above us. It's all politics and global chats. We're not here for that. Sorry, sir. We're here to talk cricket. And after the Australian series, we've got the English tour of India.
Yeah.
But no test matches, right? Just limited overs.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty keen on seeing some Aksa action in Rajkot.
No, it should have been, these days, every nation is picking up only 2 to play, and most of it is going towards the white ball. And if they play a red ball, it's just a red ball series. But
I think with England and Australia, we always get 5 test matches, right? It's too much.
With England now, as we were talking before, after the Sri Lanka tour, there are only 3 ODIs remaining before Champions Trophy. And how it's the England ODIs start around the 6th of February. You go back to back, 3 games, and less than a week's time is where Champions Trophy starts.
That's very tight.
For me, the weird part is the South Africa injection in the middle with just 4 T20Is. Like, why not just make it a 3 ODI series and get some ODI practice in? Surely, they'll be more helpful. And they're flying all the way to South Africa just to play T20s.
I was just going to say that because they're going to be playing a test match till the 5th of November against New Zealand. And then the first T20 starts on the 8th till the 16th, right? You got between 8th and 16th, they've got to play 4 T20s. and then fly to Australia to kick off the test on the 22nd November. And I think this all fits into Gigi's plan of, I don't want to carry the same team across every continent.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to tell you. I was like, I feel like different teams are flying in different places, so I don't think he's worried about that.
Yeah. He's just now, I think it all fits in perfectly into his grand plan of 3 teams.
Yeah.
He just needs to pick that apt 45 squad, right? 3 times 15. And it's so interesting to see where about 10 years ago, India was struggling to have a decent bench strength. Your main key players are down, and then India looks so flat on the pitch. And now you're now talking about 45 players ready to play different forms of cricket.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe a little bit of chat about Australia's fixtures then. They've got Scotland coming up soon. Or I think they're going to Scotland actually. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad. They're going to go Scotland, and then I think it's a bit of a let's help the minnows out kind of tour. I think a mandatory tour because I think they skipped the Afghan tour, so they have to help out someone else.
Correct.
Scottish people get some cricket, and then they move on to England. But I thought they'll have some test matches in, but I'm assuming it's next year. So no Ashes this year. All right.
With no Ashes this year, why rush Anderson out of the team?
Gotta give people enough experience before the next Ashes.
Well, it's not like tomorrow. They could have let the great do a full series, wrap up on a high. How often do you have someone at that peak and few wickets away from setting some new all-time highs?
Yeah, and that I agree with. I think at least let Anderson play out the whole series and tell him the last match is your last match. You're out after that.
Yeah.
He gets
I would have been happy if it would have been the other way around, right? The moment you cross this benchmark, that is your last match. So you do it in your first game, all good. You just walk out of the game and say, yep, this is my last game. Or it's second, I'm sure he won't leave it till the third.
And if he plays the full series, it's guaranteed he passes Warnie's record.
Oh man, English cricket.
Some odd script writers like, no, let's get rid of him quickly so we can get someone in. Doesn't look like the script writer and English side did a good job, but
yeah, when you're looking, I mean, I don't think anyone in the current generation, or at least in the upcoming generation, you're looking at reaching those numbers. One, we don't play enough tests.
Exactly.
2, you don't have players that can play that long of an innings as well in test. So yeah, you had one great opportunity to have an English player right at the top of the ladder board.
Yeah. But I guess that kind of that's the whole brand of Ben Stokes, right? Where he's like, personal records don't matter. We play for the team. Come in, do your job, and GTFO.
Oh well,
for a person of that caliber, again, it's not like he's playing for the team, so you would have to get that accolade would have been amazing.
Yeah,
but,
But again, I think with his brand of cricket, it's all about the team, right? And right now, he thinks younger blood needs to come in with some more pace and prep for the Ashes next year.
But one series, that's all you have to wait. One series to be completed.
Especially because they've waited
let's bring the young guys.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, very soon we're gonna talk in similar terms in the Indian cricket as well, because Mr. Gigi, एक छक्के ने मैच नहीं जिताया.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I remember him. I think he had some interview somewhere, and he said how he was the vice captain, and it was the first time where a team dropped a vice captain to bring someone else in, right? And now he goes in and doesn't make Hardik Pandya the captain of the T20 squad, and has offered Sky that position. So I don't know, Gigi, sir. You need to look into yourself. Kick yourself, sir. But
What,
again,
what could be the reason? Why this shift? Like,
they said that
it's
because
odd.
he's a bit brittle, and
Yeah.
his fitness is unquestioned because he plays a lot of cricket across three
Yeah,
formats. And they said
IPL.
yeah, exactly. And in the last, I think 70 odd T20Is, he only played like 40 something T20s. So it's like less than half kind of deal, or maybe just over half he played.
Yeah, I think
And if
the
you're
fitness.
and if you're the
Oh, okay.
captain, if you're the captain, you'd want to play every single game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
a couple
true.
of things with
Okay.
Hardik, right? One is his fitness, for sure, is a big
Mm.
question mark.
Yeah.
And also, if he is being picked in the squad, he needs to contribute with both bat and ball. And that's the X factor that he brings in, right? If he's selected purely as a batsman, this is where I think Gigi is headed towards. I've got better batters if I'm going just for a batsman, and yet I can offer the captaincy role to a batter and get in another all-rounder into the squad.
True. It'll be interesting what he does, but yeah, that makes sense.
Well, going back to
another little interesting bit for Australia-England series, they're playing 5 ODIs. That's a lot of ODIs against 2 peak teams.
good match practice leading into Champions
Yeah, that's what I was
Trophy.
about to say.
So if
Really
you
good
see,
match practice.
English board and the Australian board have sort of planned it out really well, because England is playing 5 games,
Yeah.
so is Australia, because it's a bilateral series. Australia is playing 3 ODIs against Pakistan. We still haven't got to Pakistan, but Pakistan have a jam-packed summer in prep. All in all, it's probably India and I think New Zealand, which we'll get to in this or the next episode, is playing ridiculously low number of one days.
ODIs.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's
Come on,
odd.
script.
Yeah.
Or is it, if it could be a glitch in the metrics, or scriptwriter has a different twist to the plot?
Yeah, it's just changes the fixture on the fly.
Post November, post when Mr. Scriptwriter comes into the position, like nope, flip it around.
Right,
Yeah.
Australia,
But that's right.
anyways.
Like,
or he's like,
India
Champions
is-
Trophy is now going to be a T20 series.
Wow. Or completely the other way.
that's the thing, right? It's yeah,
Go for it, Randy.
because England, so Australia and England, right? Like their series is in September, and this Champions Trophy is in Feb. So the last ODI Australia has is against Pakistan, which is November, and then for 2-3 months they have no 3 months, about 3 months, yeah, they have no ODI. But for India, you said, I think, what did you say? The last ODI we have is about
12th of
a couple of
February.
weeks before.
A couple weeks before against England, I think.
Yeah.
Couple of weeks before. Again, we'll see the result. Like, either peaking too early or just having a couple of months of break, and just focusing on, because it's not you can do training strategy, but then this is like match practice, and you can tinker a bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see if having some matches very close to the Champions Trophy is beneficial, which there's some merit to it. I think there's some merit to it, but
it's just
let's
like
see.
3 matches.
Yeah. And one more thing that we should not forget is the Big Bash that happens in December, January. So a lot of these one-day players are not in the test squad for Australia. So you could have all of these one-day players having a decent go and probably play the entire BBL this year.
But BBLs are T20s anyway.
T20.
It's assumed
Yeah,
that doesn't help
BBL
as much.
Yeah.
It's more getting a bit of match practice, right? Spending time in the middle of wicket, especially. I mean, yeah, you don't get much for a bowler because you're in a defensive approach or trying to survive, not getting smacked.
Unless you're Bumrah.
Oh, well.
That's right. But sorry, just to finish off with that one, like because England's coming over to India and playing ODI in India, similar pitches to Pakistan-ish, the southeast.
Ish. If it happens in Pakistan.
Ish. Yeah, if it happens. that's the ish. I always have a ish to it. But the thing is, if you're GG, do you take as first two games, again, to win the whole series, I don't know how important it is because Champions Trophy is obviously a much larger tournament and you want to do better. Do you either go full hard and get a proper strategy, be like, okay, if this person goes out, is injured, we have this backup, and you tinker around with that series? Or you like, okay, this series is purely strategy series for Champions Trophy, if it happens, happens and everything. What do you think? Like, is it worth just doing it being a strategy? Because obviously India India does
we're
pretty
gonna
well.
go full on.
Full in, yeah. Gotta get the full team together, right?
You gotta look at Mr. OG's scriptwriter confirming that RohitSharma is the captain for both Champions Trophy and WTC finals. So which means the mindset
I wasn't
is
saying
go full on.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't saying that bring our next gen squad and do this, right? I was still saying full strength squad, but then second T20, second ODI, third ODI, tinker with one or two person and see how. Again, it's only one game; they're not gonna.
See, we could.
I reckon get as much match practice as possible with your top 11. Given they only have 5 or 6 matches till then, so make the most of it. Like even the Sri Lanka tour, they should send people.
And even in our Champions Trophy, we are in one of those really tough groups. We've got India, Pakistan, South Africa, and England. It's good we're playing England just before, so we would probably know their batting attack. South Africa would come back with a vengeance from the T20 finals. and you got no words for Pakistan, right? And they essentially want to get away from all the mocha ads.
It doesn't even matter. I think you just can't predict how they're going to play.
Yeah.
I think on Pakistan's day, Pakistan can annihilate any team. Any team.
Oh yeah.
So can't discount them or anything.
That was about to happen in the World Cup. They were about to win. They were very close. I honestly
think if Rizwan didn't try to sweep Bumrah, they win the game.
Yeah. They win the game. Yeah.
But again, so I think going back to the fixture for Australia, I think even they are going to play their full squad. Pat Cummins is not going to be like, hey, Maxwell, you chill. I'll try some other combinations. I think every single game they play, they're going to go for the kill and try to test out how they're going to play together. And for them, they're going to have to figure out who's going to fill the hole for David Warner. Because I think in an interview, David Warner chuckled and he was like, "Oh, I'm available if needed. Let me know."
And George Bailey immediately said he's not enough plans for Champions Trophy.
Way.
No, I think every India has to do a lot more thinking, especially when they want to rest major players for the Sri Lanka ODI series. Australia, I think, like Raj, you mentioned, they're gonna go full in. Especially, I think the only time that they're getting a decent match practice with a quality opponent is England, Pakistan. You never know. And England on the other side as well. They've got less games going, so whatever they do, I think the nice thing is England are going to play India in almost similar conditions to Dubai or Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
They've also got a lot of match practice. Also, they've got 3 series, right? So they've got one with India. They're going to go against West Indies again at some point, and they've got 5 matches with Australia.
Yeah,
Australia.
That's a lot of time to practice baseball. I'm not gonna lie. If they go full throttle,
the Indian Test series where baseball was put to bed, they should figure out a way to resurface that. I think English cricket in the last 2 years is known for their aggressive play. And it's just gone, right? That Indian series has just taken baseball away from them.
I actually have an interesting question. Do you know how David Warner's out now? I think for England, Bairstow's not going to be there. Surely he's out now. He's pretty old now.
Late 30s or mid 30s?
37, I think. He's 37, I think. He's very old.
He is. Probably
he's not Jimmy Anderson, who can survive till 40.
I think they're gonna
Oh,
run
sorry,
with
I
him.
lied. Johnny versus 34. Sorry, Johnny.
Uh,
But
very
yeah,
super old, but
I was
yeah.
gonna say, with the way he bats around, I guess they're gonna stick with him for the next 6 months because Champions
very good.
Trophy is
Wow.
not too far. It's too risky to make big decisions at this point. If they had to make it, it should have already been. He's already been dropped from your test squad, so it's
Yeah.
getting enough rest, and I'm sure he can turn up for wonders.
But his form's been so crap, and even in T20s, like if you look at his
Yeah.
World Cup, I think 130 odd score.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he was pretty average.
What was that game where he pulled? There was one game where was it? Yeah, England versus West Indies where they managed to he managed to get a big comeback. The one.
Yeah, it was a 48 run not out at the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's the thing, Raj, as you're saying, right? England's got quite a bit of matches to test it out, right? Like again, not saying that he's not a class batsman, so he's got quite a few matches to prove it. Even if the what's the first next ODI that they have is Australia.
Yeah.
After their test series, first one is Australia, so that is a quality opponent. So if he does well, then the projection is good. But if he doesn't, then that's gonna be a challenge.
Talking about basketball and the spark dying up, while we are recording, England West Indies second test was kicked off.
Yeah.
And they lost a wicket in the third ball, and now they are 88 for 1 in 14 overs. So basketball is back. Yeah.
And Ben Duckett net a strike at a 132.
Oh, wow.
How crazy is that?
Oh,
that's
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, I think all the three teams that we just spoke about, India, England, and Australia, have got a pretty jam-packed schedule leading into Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
This sort of tournaments is debatable, but only time's going to tell. Right?
We've got. I think this is a decent time to wrap this episode up. But more to come. I think we're going to cover Women's Asia Cup in our next episode, and Pakistan fixture and South Africa fixture for the next year. Thank you for joining us, and like, share, and subscribe, please, everywhere here, there, and maybe even look at some of our older videos. That'll be nice. See you, folks.
See you guys.
Okay.